Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate y'all being here. Coming off the game Saturday, talking to our guys, Monday when they came back in, kind of going through each phase and where we are. And, the objective's been trying to get a little bit better every week. I think defensively we made some strides in some areas. It's really been defense has been doing your job and doing it with championship effort. And I think we made some strides. We're not able to sustain that for the whole game, but I do think we made some strides in the right direction, some things we can build on and get better at. We do have a lot of young and new guys that we're trying to build this thing out the right way with. I think we're making some progress. I thought special teams, I thought we covered kicks better with a little more urgency. We made all our kicks, which was positive. We're still not really doing anything to change the game in special teams right now, and I think everybody's just got to keep doing their job a little bit harder, and usually that kind of stuff happens. Offensively, not a very good day. Did not play very well, turned the ball over a lot, had it out a lot more, and just didn't play with a lot of energy. So I think when you look at it, there's a lot of room for us to grow and get better coming in this week. And, we're happy to be 1-0 in the conference. At the end of the day, that's a positive. But we got a lot of work to do to get to where we want to be. And as I've talked about from the beginning, practicing the right way and having the right practice habits, able to finish practice, just the attention to detail are things we got to continue to build on and work on. So as we get ready for this week, obviously we're back home. The opponent is North Carolina A&T. You turn the tape on Sunday, and I'll be honest with you, I was impressed. There's a reason they've won 9+ games since 2014. You go by like 2014, it's been 9+ wins, usually double-digit wins. They've won multiple Celebration Bowls. But when you turn the tape on, you know why. I mean, you look at defensively, really their football team has an identity. They know who they are. They're really good at what they do. Defensively, they're extremely athletic. They run really well, and they play extremely hard. To me, that's identity. That's who they are. They're tough, hard-nosed, and as soon as you turn the tape on, it hits you. Offensively, they like to line up. They're gonna establish the run. Now, obviously, they can throw it, and as soon as you get the run taken care of, they're going to back shoulder you across country with a route. But they want to run the football. Tough, hard-nosed. They got a stable of running backs that can hit you in any different angle. Bigger back, a shiftier back, and so they are a really, really well-coached football team that knows who they are. Play extremely hard, very athletic across the board, tough. Again, there's a reason they've won as many games as they have over the years. I've known who they were. I just really never sat down and watched them in that light because we haven't faced them. Really, really impressed with North Carolina A&T. And I told our guys yesterday, I said, listen now, you better go get ready to play now. I said, they're going to come in here hungry. This is their first year in the Big South, and we better be ready to play our best game. So attack everything. It's relentless. With those front four, their linebackers are really, really good football players. They run to the ball, and I think their mission is to stop the run. I think it's kind of who they are, and everything they do. And that's probably what they face on a day in, day out when they play themselves. But their get off and the way they attack things, it's fast, it's violent. They play the game with a chip on their shoulder, and they do a nice job of getting guys on the ground and causing havoc. And they're impressive now. I'll be honest with you, I kind of enjoyed watching it because it's stuff I like. Guys that play hard, are tough, and run the football. I enjoyed watching it. Now I'm gonna move on from that because we got to deal with it, right? But I think that's it, and they are who they are. They don't try to do a ton of stuff, but boy, they are good at what they do, and their kids understand it, so they play fast. If that makes sense, they play fast. and they play hard. So again, it's who they are. I mean, I'm impressed.
You alluded to special teams and what you want to see more of that. Just going into this game, what specific thing on special teams did you want to see from your guys?
Well, I think the big thing, and we made improvements on it. It's we got to go play with unbelievable effort and do our job, and then we'd like to. We really haven't been able to create any plays on special teams this year. Coming out of the spring, we were able to do some different stuff, block some punts, but we haven't really haven't been able to do anything. And hopefully if everybody just really goes and does their job, and plays really hard, some of those things will happen. So I'm hoping we can do that. The positive Saturday was that we made our kick. We didn't do anything to beat ourselves, and I think that's the first thing you look at. But then we want to try to create some momentum plays. In a game like this, you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to do it all to give yourself a chance to win, and that's going to be a huge part of it.
Big plays on special teams, a lot of that. Isaac has always been good at that. He got banged up again on Saturday. How's his status, and where are we with the Red Cross this week?
Yeah. So Isaac's out for the year. And honestly, because he's been banged up, unfortunately, we haven't used him really on special teams at all this year. And that's because he's been banged up. But unfortunately for him, and I feel awful for him, he has had a run of bad luck. So he'll be out. Joel Parker will be out. And really outside of that, I think most of the guys, there's some questionable guys throughout the week, but we're in a little better place than we've been, but we do obviously have some key guys, that aren't going to play on Saturday. And then we got some guys that are just banged up. And it's this time of year, you're going to have that some, when you get down this stretch. And but we need everybody we can muster up for Saturday.
We talked a little bit Saturday about X and his performance, and you said that not to take anything away from him, but he left a lot out there, and you were going to be hard on him. So the first day of practice, coming back this week, when something like that happens, and that there's a lot more there, how does he take that coaching when you get him back out on the field after that?
He those kids are good about that. That room didn't play particularly well. In that room of the quarterbacks and two backs. Yes, there was yardage and all this stuff, but we look at our standard and how we play. And they'll be the first to tell you, I think they knew they didn't play particularly well. Then obviously they come watch the film on Monday. But they've always done a good job. Our kids do a good job, especially in that room of, we call it kind of sit on your hands and you take ownership of the good and the bad and the ugly, just like we as coaches do. And there were some things Saturday coaching-wise we didn't do a good job of helping our kids. I mean, we could have done a better job. But those kids do a good job of that. And listen, those kids want to be great. They do. I have no question about that. It's just, when it doesn't go the way you want it, there's usually a reason for it. And so you go back, all right, how do we prepare? How did things, and it usually all ties together. So, and I think they understand that. They just got to go do it. They just got to go prepare the right way so it doesn't happen again, so we don't turn the ball over. We go turn the ball over like we did Saturday, and we get blown out of the stadium.
You talked about wanting to be great. Obviously, your defense ranks first in the Big South and just total defense. Going into Saturday's game, what do you think will be the biggest difference for you guys on defense?
Well, I think the big thing is all 11 doing their job and doing it with what we call championship our effort. I think that I know that sounds really cliche, but that's really it. And obviously we got to stop the run because they're gonna line up, try to run the football. That's who they are, and we got to be able to do that. But getting all 11 and doing it for a period of time. I mean, there's been signs of series after series. We see some really good, consistent play, and then being able to sustain that, because obviously you're going to have to play this sucker for 4 quarters Saturday now. I mean, so, being able to sustain that. So I think we've grown up a little bit. I think we got to build on it and continue playing and getting better. And I think we're making some strides in the right direction. We just got to continue to do that.
Couple of freshmen. I'm doing a story. North Cobb's playing Walton this week. We got Ben Moran and Connor Cummins. Ben's been the starting punter. Connor's gotten in a chance to do some kickoffs, and I think he's actually made a couple of tackles on special teams, whether that's good, bad, or indifferent. But how do you see those guys fitting in, and what do you think of their performance so far?
So both young freshmen that have obviously Ben's punted and Connor's got in a little bit to kick off some. Both young, both talented. They're both freshmen. They're both learning their way. I think that they're both talented. I think they're both learning and growing. Ben's punted for us. Ben's would be the first to tell you. He would like his average to be a little bit better. Connor's had some moments. We put him out there and gave him a shot, and I think they both have a high ceiling. I think they're both freshmen right now, and they're learning and growing. But I'm excited they're both here, and I think they both got a chance as we move forward down the road. I think they're freshmen. I don't mean that in any, but they're learning and trying to get in the groove of things where hopefully at some point they can fully showcase their abilities. Hadn't really been able to do that yet.
Which do you like less, Connor making tackles or Ben running the ball?
Well, can I say I don't like either one of them? Neither. It's not good if Connor's making tackles, and it's not good if Ben's running the ball. Neither one of them are very good at all.
Ben's looking forward to his next opportunity.
Yeah, I bet.
You raised a lot about North Carolina A&T, and deservedly so, just from the pedigree that's coming in. But most importantly, with them being the first season in the Big South, how important have you just stressed to your team that these guys are coming in like they, gonna really want this win over you guys?
Yeah, that was team meeting Monday. I briefly touched on the game, and I went right to them. And I asked our kids, tell me about North Carolina A&T. And I let them communicate what they knew, because I wanted to hear what they knew, because they are new to the league. We had guys that are giving out actual stats of how many Celebration Bowls, and then I went into further detail about the history of this football program and the championship pedigree they have, and talked about, all right, this is their first year in the Big South. Every game, they're trying to say, hey, this is us. We're in the Big South now. We're going to win the Big South. We're going to prove this to you. We have a chip on our shoulder. I know what that's all about. We've been a part of it too. You know what I mean? So I know exactly what, how they're approaching things. And so immediately try to communicate everything with our football team so they understand the urgency of the week. And I normally don't do all that on Monday. Normally it's a little bit each day, but I felt like we couldn't afford to waste any time in preparation. And they need to understand the urgency of the preparation for the week, because you got a really hungry, talented football team coming into town this weekend. I missed it. When did Ben run the ball, John?
When the ball snap sailed over his head.
Oh, gotcha. All right, I was sitting there cycling through gotcha.
Got -9 yards on the year.
Yeah, he should have went down earlier. Forgot about that.
Any further questions? Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank y'all.